What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing Week 8 predictions for the 2017 through 2018 NFL season. And finally, I got more than 10 wins right this week. It's been 2 weeks straight where I had, I believe, 6 wins and 5 wins, something like that. 2 weeks straight of just terrible weeks of football predicting. But this week I bounced back, only 4 losses this week, 11 wins, so I'm right back in it. But got a long way to go, indeed. So last week, like I said, straight up, I went 11-4. That brings me to a 63-43 record straight up, and that is an average of .594, which is 59% accuracy right now. So that's not good, but it's getting better. It's going up, so that's what I like to see. My goal was 70%. That's not happening probably. So my goal right now is 65%. Let's try to get at least to 65. I'm not one to settle, but I guess we'll have to try to get to 65. So against the spread, I didn't do too bad. Went 7-6-2. 2 games wound up being a push. That was I believe the Buffalo Bills versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Buffalo was favored by 3 and won by 3. And then another game, let's see, where is it at? Oh, Miami and Miami. Oh, no, it actually counts as a loss, right? Because I chose the Jets to go. I chose the Jets +3. So I guess at 7-7, I went 7-7 against the spread. Good thing I checked that. I went 7-1 against the spread this week. So that's not bad. That's not too bad. So and my sports fan entertainment rank is 83rd. I should be 65th, but because I missed one game, I forgot to put one in. But it's okay. It's all right. No excuses. We're 83rd right now. We gotta go get back up there. So let's start off Thursday Night Football. We've got probably the worst matchup possible for Thursday Night Football, the Dolphins versus the Ravens. I'm not looking forward to this game too much. First of all, they're not rivals in any way. There's no storylines between these two teams in relation. But it is what it is. They're going to be playing Thursday Night Football. The Ravens do not look good right now, and the Dolphins are doing pretty well. Because of Matt Moore, who I assume is going to be starting because I think Jay Cutler's done. Matt Moore is going to be starting for this game. He lit a fire for the Jets. Offensively scored, I believe, 17 straight points to win the game against the Jets. So good job by the Miami Dolphins there. You look at Jarvis Landry in that post-game interview where he's fired up. He's saying for us to respect the Dolphins. And it seems like we should. Their defense has been playing pretty well up to this point of the season. The Jets game was the first game they allowed over 20 points since that's going back to last year. So good job by the Dolphins, and their defense is actually pretty good. Jay Ajayi is running hard. Matt Moore hopefully can get this offense going. And the Ravens, defensively, they're starting to struggle a little bit. Offensively, they're completely trash. Joe Flacco looks really bad right now. They were sort of in that game with the Minnesota Vikings, but it wasn't even close. Minnesota just dominated that game. But the score says otherwise, but they dominated that game, Minnesota did, against the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to win this game on the road. I have extreme confidence in them. I'm not very good at predicting these Thursday night games, so maybe this will be a loss just because I had the Dolphins winning. Maybe that's the reason of Baltimore winning this game, but I got the Dolphins winning this game 24-13. Give me Miami +3. We move on to the Vikings versus the Browns, and the Browns had themselves a scrappy little fight with the Tennessee Titans. I thought that game was going to end up in a tie. It went all the way down to, I believe, 5 minutes until overtime was ended. So 10 minutes into overtime, we finally got a winner there, and that was the Tennessee Titans. The Browns fought their way, but they had no business being in that game. Kevin Byard himself had 3 interceptions. DeShone Kizer, Kevin Hogan, and Cody Kessler just the worst mixture of quarterbacks you can get. Just interception machines, both of them. All three of them. So that's a trio of doom right there, and not doom for the other team, but doom for that team. So the Cleveland Browns look bad right now. Sure, they put up a fight against the Tennessee Titans, but they had no business being in that game. That was just the Titans being the Titans, and they playing down to competition. So I'm gonna have the Vikings winning this game. They struggled. The Browns struggled against a pretty average Tennessee Titans defense. We're talking about a Vikings team that is completely dominating in everything that they do, whether it's against the pass or against the run. So, and their pass rush is really good with Everson Griffin there at defensive end. So, I expect the Vikings to dominate this game, 23-3. Give me Minnesota minus 9.5. We have the Raiders at the Bills. Now, the Bills are looking pretty good right now. They're coming off a comeback win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they look pretty good in that game. Their defense wasn't all that good in that game, but they did force a fumble at the end of the game to help them win the game, basically ice the game for them, or put the dagger in it. But the Raiders are coming off a really good win in which they finally beat their division rival, the Kansas City Chiefs, after getting swept for 2 years in a row and snapping the Kansas City Chiefs' 12-game winning streak in the division. So good job by the Oakland Raiders there. They had a lot of chances to do so, and they finally did it on the crazy Thursday night football game. But we got the Raiders at the Bills. Now, the Bills, I believe this is the point in time where they're going to start to slow down a little bit. They're starting to, take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. I think this is where they come down to earth. So, and I think the Raiders are trying to get some more wins here, trying to stay in the division race, trying to stay in that wild card race. And I think this is a pretty good matchup for them. This should be a good game. I'm going to have the Raiders winning this one on the road, 26-23. Take Oakland plus 2.5. The Colts at the Bengals. The Colts, I don't see them winning this game. I know the Bengals are coming off a loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers in which they got blown out. I thought Cincinnati would have a chance there, but that was not the case. But Cincinnati is still looking good right now. Joe Mixon getting a lot of opportunities now and should run a lot against this Colts team. The Colts, Jacoby Brissett is what he is. He's going to be, if he does become a starter, going to be a pretty decent starter. He's still very young. And, the Colts aren't going to win too many games with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. And their running game is still struggling. Frank Gore is, he's older. Marlon Mack, he's showing some flashes, but very inconsistent. He drops a lot of passes. And then, he doesn't run for many yards as well. So, the Colts are just a mess right now. A hot mess right now. They look good in some games and just look very bad in others. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game 26-17. Take Cincinnati minus 10. The Chargers at the Patriots. Now this is Tom Brady versus Phillip Rivers, two gunslingers of quarterbacks. So I expect this to be a shootout type game. I know the Chargers aren't very good. They're coming off, yet another win, a very concerning win against the Denver Broncos. 24-0, shutting the Denver Broncos out. That was pretty much expected. I knew that the Chargers will win that game because Denver is struggling. Trevor Siemian's playing on a hurt shoulder, and their receiving core is depleted right now. So I expected them to be that bad, but Los Angeles really looked good in that win. That is their third straight win. They're 3-4, coming back from 0-4. So they're looking good right now. But will they win this game against the Patriots? It's going to take a miracle to do so, but I definitely think they'll stay in this game. I think New England will not cover their 7.5-point spread. I got Los Angeles covering that spread, but I'll take the Patriots to win that game 33-27, so very high scoring. We move on to the Bears at the Saints. Now the Bears, with as long as Mitchell Trubisky is there, they're looking good right now. He's really, I wouldn't say he's changed that team, but he's definitely brought a new attitude to that team. I don't think Mike Glennon was going to win them many games, and he didn't for the most part. And then, we've got Mitchell Trubisky. He completed 4 passes last week against against the Carolina Panthers, and they still came out with the win. I don't know how. Eddie Jackson with 2 return touchdowns, 2 defensive touchdowns, 1 a fumble recovery, 1 an interception. So he was definitely the player of that game. And they'll find a way to win these sloppy games. But right now, New Orleans is looking good right now. Sure, trap game alert. This should be definitely on an alert. All you Saints fans out there. Keep this game on alert. Don't sleep on the Bears too much. They're not a good team, but they find a way to win games no matter how sloppy it is. All 2 touchdowns in that game against the Carolina Panthers for the Bears, Eddie Jackson scored. So, I mean, he was responsible for 14 of those points. So there's that. So it's going to be a challenge for the New Orleans Saints a little bit. I think the Bears will stick in this game somehow, some way. But I got the Saints winning this game, going to win their 5th straight game after starting 0-2, going 5-2, 23-20. Take Chicago with the points though, +9. The Falcons at the Jets. Listen, if the Falcons lose this game, I mean, they're not going to the playoffs, guys. If the Falcons lose this game, they're not going to the playoffs, and it's very possible they can lose this game. If they lose this game, they're going to go 0-4 in the AFC East. That's pretty sad to see. They already lost to the Miami Dolphins a week before, where they gave up a huge lead, 17-point lead. And wound up losing the game 20-17, and then losing to the Buffalo Bills. I believe the score was 26-16 or something like that, something around that range. And then they lost to the New England Patriots last week, in which they got blown out. They had no business being in that game whatsoever. So they have a chance of losing this game against the New York Jets. Am I going to pick the Jets to win? No, but, I mean, listen, guys, if the Falcons lose this game, it's over for the Falcons. Don't expect them to make the wild card, and if they do, they're not doing anything in the playoffs. So I'm going to have the Falcons winning this game, covering the spread as well, -5, 24-16. Take the Falcons, -5. The 49ers at the Eagles. The 49ers looked so bad against the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, I guess they heard what everybody's been saying, that the Cowboys are letting up now and they're not looking good. They may go 8-8 and stuff like that. And I've seen a lot of Cowboys fans saying they're going 8-8, 7-9. But I guarantee you they beat the 49ers 40-10, and now they think they're going back to the Super Bowl. So, maybe the Dallas Cowboys finally found something and now they're running with it. But they beat a bad 49ers team. They beat a team that doesn't have a win yet. Doesn't matter how scrappy you were in previous games, you do not have a win yet. So 40-10, it is what it is. But the Eagles are coming off a great win against the Washington Redskins. They dominated the Washington Redskins, especially in the second half. They're looking good right now. To me, they're the best team in the NFL. If they lose this game to the 49ers, I will be very shocked, very surprised, because I think they are the best team in the NFL right now. They got the best record in the NFL as well. So I'm going to take the Eagles here. I don't think there's any chance of the 49ers winning this game, but the way this season's been going, that could be possible. But I've got the Eagles winning this game pretty handily, 34-13. Take Philadelphia minus a huge 12.5 point spread. We move on to the Panthers at the Buccaneers, their first time playing against each other. These games are always fun to watch, these NFC South matchups, especially against the Panthers, against the Buccaneers. Two teams that have some offensive power, and two teams that you could say have some defensive problems as well. So we may see a shootout type game in this game. Jameis Winston coming off a very disappointing loss, in which that they thought they would win that game against the Buffalo Bills late in that game, but it slipped from their hands. Literally, Adam Humphries fumbled the ball, and that's what led to the Buffalo Bills winning that game. So, it's going to be a scrappy game. Should be fun to watch. I'm going to take the Buccaneers to win this game 27-23. I think Carolina's coming back down to earth. Christian McCaffrey not doing much on that offense like everybody expected him to, and Cam Newton being the interception throwing gunslinger he is, that's just what it's going to be. 27-23. Take Tampa Bay minus 2.5. Take the Texans at the Seahawks. Now, don't be surprised if the Texans win this game. I know that they are going to CenturyLink Field, but the Texans play very well, especially on offense. Don't know the severity of Whitney Merciless's injury. You guys can leave an update in the comment section below. Any of you Texans fans out there, let me know the severity of Whitney Merciless's injury. But they still have a good defense. They could still hang in games. The Houston Texans on offense can definitely put up some points. Doesn't matter who they're playing. So this may be a fun game to watch. Don't be surprised if the Houston Texans come out with the win here, because the Seattle Seahawks, they don't impress me whatsoever. Yes, they beat my New York Giants, but they had to wait until my defense our defense was gassed out. The Giants defense was so gassed out they couldn't stop anything, and they tried their very best, and it took a flea flicker to help them win the game. So the Seahawks just don't look impressive to me whatsoever, whether it's on defense and offense. They just don't look impressive to me. So the Houston Texans can pull out this win. But I'm still going to take the Seahawks just to be safe, because they are playing a Century Link and they are the better team. But Houston can also pull out that win. I'll take the Seahawks 27-24. Take Houston plus 5.5. Cowboys at the Redskins. Going to be a great game to watch. I don't know why this game isn't on Sunday Night Football. I guess because the Redskins have too many back-to-back games right now. So we'll see what happens with this Cowboys and Redskins game. Should be fun to watch. Don't know if the Redskins could pull out this game. In the past, the Redskins usually get one on the Cowboys, but ever since Dak Prescott has been the quarterback, they've been very dominant against the Washington Redskins. So I'm gonna have the Cowboys. Maybe I'll have the Redskins beating the Cowboys at Jerry World. But for now, I'm gonna have the Cowboys winning this game at FedEx Field. Take the Cowboys 31-26. Dallas minus 2.5. This may change. Follow me on Twitter if you guys haven't. This may change. The Steelers at the Lions. The Lions, I believe they're coming off their bye. And, the Lions are all right. It looks like they're coming back down to earth as well. Another team that's just started strong, and now it looks like they're, in the middle of the pack now. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, ever since that whole locker room debacle with Antonio Brown and stuff like that, with him, pouting and stuff like that on the sideline, because they were he wasn't getting opportunities and stuff like that, and the whole locker room exploded and stuff like that. Ben Roethlisberger taking shots and stuff like that. Ever since that happened, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs and they blew out their division rival, the Cincinnati Bengals, which was very unexpected because these AFC North games come down to the wire, and there was no chance for Cincinnati whatsoever. So Pittsburgh may have lit a fire under them. That tells me that the Steelers may win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions pull out this game, but the Lions have been getting in their own way as of late. That New Orleans Saints game, they really could have won that game with Matt Stafford. Threw too many bad passes, threw a touchdown in the end, threw a touchdown to the wrong team in their own end zone, and that's what later just stopped their whole drive on trying to come back in that game. They almost did, but they couldn't do it. So coming off their bye, they can win this game, but we've seen a lot of teams this year coming off their bye lose. So the bye really isn't an advantage as much as it was in the past. So I'm going to take the Steelers 27-17. Take Pittsburgh minus 3. That's Sunday Night Football. Monday Night Football, the Broncos at the Chiefs should be a great game to watch. I'm hoping these Broncos wide receivers come back healthy, at least some of them. I want to see a good game out of this. Jamal Charles is going to go face his former team, and we'll see what happens here. Coming off a loss against the Los Angeles Chargers, the Broncos look like they could be the underdog here, but we've seen the Broncos beat the Chiefs before. But to me, I don't think it's going to happen, because you got the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are known to lose games in a row like this after starting out strong. You look at that time they started 9-0. I believe it was 2013 where they started 9-0 and they finished 11-5, and they got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs by the Indianapolis Colts, in which they were leading by like 30 points, and they came back and lost the game. They lost the lead and lost the game. And we've seen that happen with these Andy Reid Chiefs before. They might lose this game because of that, but I just don't see it yet. I don't see them losing another division game after winning 12 straight. They just lost. They just snapped their streak, losing to Oakland last week. So I just don't think that kind of theme will still keep going. So I'll have the Chiefs winning this game. I'll take the Chiefs 24-13. Take Kansas City -7.5. And those are my picks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Week 8, half the season is already over, and we should start looking forward to the playoffs, the Super Bowl, and my favorite part, the draft. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you leave your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you guys comment, man. You guys, I've been seeing a lot of people been liking my videos, a lot of people viewing my videos, but none of you guys comment. Go ahead and comment. Let's start a discussion in the comment section. Alright, guys. See you guys in the next video.